Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm Piglet here. We are back for the Maxi Toys, and welcome back to my last play of Super Smash Bros. Brawl's Subspace Emissary mode. It's for the Nintendo Wii, actually. So, yeah, last time we actually did tackle through those two stages, or in this case, three stages, which are Sea of Clouds, the Jungle, and the Plain. And as a matter of fact, though, we actually got all the secrets in those three levels. And today for this episode, we're about to continue on and move on to the next level, the lake. So, I wonder what that level's going to be familiar with. So even then, though, so far we actually got 11%. Fox. So now we do have the ability to play as Fox or Diddy Kong. So for us, let's go ahead and start with, let's go for Fox first to actually discuss about his movesets. If you ever played Super Smash Bros. 64 and Super Smash Bros. Melee before, if you ever played as Fox before, you know exactly how he actually plays out. Basically, he still can perform himself the Hexagon while simply just use the down B special attack. And also the up B attack, he performs a fire ability, which you can actually use that for an air recovery or something like that. And also that you can also use just a pistol gun, or in this case a laser gun, with just the B button. And finally the side B attack can perform a quick dash. Even then though, it might be pretty useful at points, but at the same time it won't be necessary to use that honestly when it comes to if you're actually fighting certain opponents in the small, very small arenas. But especially noticeable when we're actually getting even then though, well, I don't know for sure. But, usually though, I found Fox looks a bit more agile than the likes of Super Smash Bros. Melee to me. But, you know, unfortunate thing is that, unfortunately though, that, the only problem I have with Fox though is that it's still present in Melee though. I found myself easy to lose control of myself. Although, to be fair, that, I don't honestly find Fox to be that bad. Even though I'm kind of glad that he makes a return in Brawl, which is pretty standard stuff. But let's talk more onto that later. But anyways, now it's going to be playing as Diddy Kong, the newcomer introduced in the Super Smash Bros. Series. And as we mentioned earlier, that Diddy Kong's first appearance was definitely Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. In fact, we'll talk on into his movesets as soon as we actually get into the next segment of the lake. But for now, we take down RAYQUAZA. Oh man, this cutscene makes me funny though, because even then that Diddy Kong was forced to drag Fox into his adventure, just trying to keep on searching for Donkey Kong, so... Anyway though, so here we are at the next segment of the lake. So basically what we can do here is that we're actually going to be traveling to those little familiar doors. They look very similar to how it does it for these bunch of red doors, and especially the yellow doors essentially. But these doors are act out as the different alternate versions of this segment's, well, different environment. Well, because of that, if you travel through different colored doors, like the blue doors when it has some different colored arrows, like the purple arrow and the blue door itself, this means you can actually travel to different versions of the level, which this means you're actually going to be going to do a lot of backtracking when it comes to actually traveling through different doors and stuff, which is pretty noticeable in this stage in specific. So, anyway, so we get ourselves these bunch of new enemies we're about to be face off against, which is, you know, these little bird-type enemies. But even then, yeah, that's all I can think of. So, yeah, we haven't explained more on Fox's movesets, but even then, we set the movesets incredibly wrong. But apparently, that, you know, the standalone B attack is called Blaster, and also the Reflector is a down B attack for sure. And then the Fox Illusion was actually the side special attack, and then finally the up B can be performed as Fire Fox. So that's all there is to know what these movesets do. So yeah, we do apologize for that. But even though we'll talk more on the Diddy Kong's movesets after when we actually did eventually trying to select him. So yeah, you know, with the first section, we actually did take down the second boss fight in the entire Super Smash Bros. Brawl, especially as consists of the Subspace Emissary mode. We actually did take down RAYQUAZA, which is the legendary Pokemon originated from Generation 3 in the likes of Pokemon Emerald for the Game Boy Advance. Even though we actually did manage to still got it in our emulator, but we haven't got the actual cartridge of Pokemon Emerald. However, though, we still actually obtained ourselves Pokemon Sapphire for the Game Boy Advance as far as the actual copy of the game. And for what I've remembered, that, well, I can't really exactly explain why, but even then, though, that, oh yeah, we have these new familiar enemies right here. These are Toros, which if you're actually trying to attack them, they're trying to stay away, and then eventually they'll try to attack you. And these little bird enemies, which are consistently called Auroros, which is essentially they usually try to attack you from above, and even then they decide to dive down in at one point. So yeah, that's all there is to say about these enemies, honestly. So anyways, let's go ahead and just take down this little Tororo right here. So before we actually proceed. But again, this segment right here is going to be a lot of backtracking heavy, so just in case if you want to go onto the correct spawning pathway in order to actually proceed, because when you go into the different alternate versions of the level, sometimes you ended up in the blocking progression. Like for instance, we're actually going back into this yellow version of the arena version of the level. This means you're actually going to be blocking progression, unless there are some secrets you might actually find in that place. But you get out to actually just to, you know, find a correct spawning pathway in order to actually proceed. But then without it though, then you should able to actually just keep on looking. So yeah, because for the most part, I don't think this level wasn't that intrusive or even confusion. Ah, we got spiked by the, you know, those bird enemies. But now let's talk about on Diddy Kong's movesets. As we mentioned earlier, that he's actually a new playable character introduced in the Super Smash Bros. Series. But even then, though, that he will make a return in Smash 4 for sure. And let's talk about on his moveset. If you actually press just the B button, well, specifically the hold down the B button most likely, because he can actually perform himself the Peanut Pop Gun. And if you hold it for too long, I'm pretty sure you're actually going to explode, so you still have to use that wisely. And the side special attack can be performed as Monkey Flip, which we haven't exactly performed it yet, but I'm pretty sure that it will, I can't exactly pronounce the what the description actually looks like. So, up B attack for Diddy Kong can actually perform a Rocket Barrel Boost, which can be really helpful for you if you're actually trying to recover yourself from the mid-air attack. So that's pretty noticeable in this sort of situations. So, and also that the another thing is worth mentioning is that as far as this is concerned, that oh yeah, in order to actually just to proceed for this level is that you need to actually destroy this bomb block, so that way you can actually proceed from this point and onwards. So, unless if you actually explore to this red door here, which is mandatory in order to explore it, even though that's not the right way to actually go to. In fact, we need to actually get into the you know, different colored door. So just in case if we actually just manage to you know, decide to proceed and stuff. So if we actually approach up here with these little PC-looking enemies, which are essentially the new types of enemies we're about to be encountering, in order to actually proceed, though, I'm presuming, is you need to actually find yourselves a red switch. And that way, you should able to clarify, you should able to proceed. So I wonder what's in here exactly. Well, first things first is that we actually got ourselves, well, extremely nothing, because even then, though, I'm pretty sure if you actually activate if you actually activate the switch, I'm pretty sure you actually deactivated the fire pit, so that way you can actually proceed for the level. So now there's no way we can actually go up. So anyways, let's go to this red door. Nothing to worry about the other segment to go, but anyways, now we move on to a different segment, which was we actually riding onto this little water raft. And for this background music, it's actually be playing is through the it's actually based off of Donkey Kong Jungle Beats level, which was through the through the mighty storm, I'm assuming. I think that's what the song is actually called. Granted, though, we haven't exactly gone back onto Donkey Kong Jungle Beat for quite a while now. But even then, I can't exactly explain about the what the level's called. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Why these explosions are still there? Oh, jeez, I really hate some of the explosions sometimes. If you approach into this red door here, another secret. Because if you actually just leave it as it is, then you probably won't get a chance to get yourselves a secret save. So from here, you get yourselves the yellow box, and it's a trophy, which is I can't know exactly what the trophy is actually called. Even then, we'll find out as soon as we proceed. So anyway, so let's destroy these bunch of blocks, which only requires you to use these little Oreo-looking things, which is very similar to how we managed to encounter those since the jungle level. Even then, though, that yeah. So yeah, I know what the song is actually from Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. It was actually Battle from the Storm Hill. Yeah, that's the one that I was going to be thinking of. I almost get confused by this point, but anyway. The final segment is just basically we're going to have to dodge a lot of familiar Bowser's melee enemies, like, you know, giant Goombas, Bullet Bills, and etc, etc. And right off the bat, though, another trophy. So let's go ahead and just try to toss the trophy stand. We simply made a mistake to call it trophy disc for some reason, because it always kind of reminds me of that. But apart from those sides of things, it's called trophy stand, so that makes it more likely represented from. Anyways, now we actually gone off to the raft, and the final part is just simply just have to, like, you know, move on forward. So that's all there's to know with this little segment. So, oh yeah, and the final thing for Diddy Kong's moveset is that he can perform himself the banana peel while simply just using the down B attack, which that allows you to actually pull out the banana peel around an arena. So anyways, now we ended up in this automatic sequence of this little barrel cannon, where this will actually lead us to Bowser battles. So in this case, we actually have ourselves not just the real Bowser, but in a Dark Bowser formation, which, for what I can gather, this is actually comes from the Shadow Bugs. According to what it says on the whenever you grab a trophy, which was Shadow Bugs, that's what it represents from. So yeah, basically in this segment, it's going to have to knock out Bowser, and that's about it. Specifically, the Shadow Bugs version of Bowser, so. But even though, since it's on hard mode we'll be playing on, that it might be a little bit trickier to dodge though. But even then though, as soon as we actually keep an eye on our toes to make sure there aren't any explosion attacks keeping catch on us. So even then though, for the most part it's not that hard, or even not that stimulating either. But even then though, we're just gonna have to knock him out as it is. So as soon as we actually get ourselves a higher percentage meter up, then we should be able to be just as fine. Oh god, we almost got to fly off the level. But hey, at least we can constantly using the reflector attack. So hey, this is as far as I'm concerned with this. So anyways, here's a lipstick here, returning from Super Smash Bros. Melee, and if you use that on certain opponents, it will actually get ourselves a little bit of a flower on top of his head, so it's anything changed throughout. Another Fox and Diddy Kong were about to get away from Bowser thanks to he's using his little mighty gun right here. So anyways, trophies wise, we got Samus Dark Suit, Animal Crossing Boy, Brawl and Bert, and as for stickers, we actually got quite a few actually. Jeff from Earthbound, Chibi Robo from Chibi Robo Park Patrol, Andy from Advance Wars, Superstar from New Super Mario Bros., and oh my god, Showa, why is she here? From Sonic and the Secret Rings. So, that's actually pretty in common. So anyways, now we actually got ourselves Fox in our team. So let's move on to the next level, which was the Ruined Zoo. So let's see how this level sort of feels like. So, let's jump right in. Lucas. So right off the bat though, we're getting chased by this huge statue, which is usually called a Porky statue. So even though, or in this case, don't you mean Porky statue, I should say. But anyway, so in this first sequence of the ruined zoo, it looks kind of deserted, kind of think about it. But even then, though, it's quite atmospheric as well when it comes to this environment as far as this is concerned. But anywho, though, when it comes to this first sequence right here is that we get to actually go ahead and run away from this Porky statue, which is self-explanatory, and also dodge these enemies at the same time. Granted, though, the enemies will actually try to kick our butt any moment. Including these new types of enemies we're about to be come across into. Granted, we lost one stock in the process. But anyway, though, so how works for Lucas exactly? Well, to me, that Lucas looks exactly almost identical to how it does it for Ness, like it back in was in Melee. But even then, though, since he's yet another new playable character introduced in the Super Smash Bros. Series, but of course he will return in Super Smash Bros. 4 and the likes of the DLC for Smash 4. But even then, all he can do is that he can actually perform the just a B attack and performs a, rather than just PK plus, unlike it does it for Ness. So instead he can perform a PK freeze, which is kind of a more likely equivalent to Ness's PK plus. And also the side B attack can perform a PK fire, and exact same moveset as it does it where Ness performs, like, PK Thunder from up B, and down B is a PSI Magnet, so actually it temporarily restores your health. Nurse. Speaking of Ness, there he is right now. So, he's essentially the returning character from, as usual, Super Smash Bros. 64 and Super Smash Bros. Melee. So let's talk through Ness's first, before we actually get into Lucas's properly. Is that he plays exactly, almost very similar to how it does in Super Smash Bros. Melee. He can still perform himself the, PK plus, as you can clearly saw on the cutscene. And also PK Thunder can perform this up B attack, and then PK Fire from side special attack, which is very similar to how it does in what Melee works. And then finally, the down B attack performs himself the PSI Magnet, which, again, will actually restore his health. So, it might be pretty handy, though, if you're actually just about to come towards these little projectiles. Mainly we're actually going to be fighting against the third boss in the game, known as Porky, and this is actually Porky's true form, which, from what I can gather, is that the Lucas' first appearance was actually from Mother 3, which is the Japanese exclusive title for the Game Boy Advance. And then Ness from first appearance was actually in Earthbound, so even then, you probably get the suggestion. So, go Hothead! So anyways, let's see if we can actually dodge these electricity attacks, even though, unfortunately, we actually lose him, so, oh well. At least we can actually talk more on Lucas's movesets, but even then, though, that in order to actually perform, that's all I can really say about Lucas, honestly, because he looks exactly almost very similar to Ness. Well, since to me, he's not a clone character, to me it's not, because even then, though, he actually performs himself, say, different attacks, well, you get the idea. Anyways, Poke's done. Pokemon Trainer. So anyways, now we actually introduced into yet another new playable character introduced in the Super Smash Bros. Series. Well, there's only one from returning from Super Smash Bros. 4, which we'll get into now in a moment, but for the time being, Squirtle is the only Pokemon we're actually going to be playing through first, because all he does for Pokemon Trainer, he just stays there and just sit and watch. So basically, let's talk through Squirtle's moveset, because even though the Pokemon Trainer doesn't do anything besides the we'll go into that in a second as soon as we actually get into the extra stuff, how this game offers. So, first things first though, let's talk about Squirtle's moveset. What he can perform is that in the standalone B attack, he can perform himself the Water Gun, and also if he actually just managed to use the side special attack, he can perform himself a Withdraw, which just means it's like a, you know, as you can tell from the little moveset we actually did done. And also the up B attack, he performs himself his up, you know the bottomless pit recovery moment? Like, you're gonna have to perform himself a, well, waterfall. So, as for down B attack, we can't exactly do anything just yet though, unless besides the point that we're actually gonna be moving on to the next set of few stages that we'll get to that in a moment. So, anyway though, we actually come to ourselves into a new type of enemies, which are Brawlers, which, what these guys can do is they do absolutely nothing besides when they're trying to attack you. But besides the point though, the other noticeable thing though is that they're actually trying to restore their health if you did not attack him long enough. So that's why you're going to have to defeat these guys quickly. So we have ourselves a golden hammer, which that's actually pretty handy, we think, really. So anyways, let's get ourselves a trophy right here, which is the Brawl, which is pretty much a standard trophy we actually got. So yeah, when it comes to the Pokemon Trainer, it's actually a nice little introduction to the Super Smash Bros. Series, even though this is the only installment to actually feature Pokemon Trainer as a playable character, because somehow that in Super Smash Bros. 4, they're actually going to be something that's going to get replacement. So, but even then, we'll get to Super Smash Bros. 4 until, as far as the Wii U version, most likely, not the 3DS version, because we still have not got ourselves the, 3DS capture cards, even then though, that's only for the Wii U version for the time, because even then, that the Wii U version is definitely a superior version of the game overall. So, yeah, because we'll get to that as soon as we actually just managed to get started that Let's Play up until at some point in September of this year. So, we'll get to that point. So, anyway, a few things we want to mention about certain things is that somehow there's going to be oh, we got ourselves a trophy right there, which is I think is actually Blooper from first appearance in Super Mario Bros. In the NES. So yeah, let's talk through Squirtle for a moment there, when it comes to the Pokemon Trainer himself. Apparently though, that the Pokemon Trainer doesn't have its own name, but however, according to if you ever played the Game Boy installment of Pokemon Generation 1, you probably noticed his name was actually known as Red, because even then it's especially noticeable if you actually be watching the animated version of what is called Pokemon Origins, that if you probably notice his regular name, which is called Red, because that's what it represents from Generation 1's days. However, he does have his own rival back in the day, which was called Gary, which is more likely one of the Pokemon Champions Leagues. Even then though, that's when it happens if you ever played Pokemon Generation 1 before. So yeah, that's all that usually goes though, eh? Yeah, especially noticeable, oh yeah, we actually got ourselves another secret we actually find, is that we actually got a trophy, which I believe that's actually based off of from the Kirby Air Ride game for the GameCube, which I believe is actually called a Dragoon, which I think there's actually a new item introduced in Super Smash Bros. Series as well, so we'll talk more on that later, as soon as we actually get into the first Smash this video, so, but I digress though. So, for Ruined Zone, it's not that bad of a level, it's just that you have to travel through 3 different segments, which is for 1, you have to gain chase by this little Porky statue, and 2 is you're going to find the true form of Porky, which, yeah, it looks pretty menacing and devastating at the same time, or intimidating, because it looks like this little lonely nobody child just somehow managed to get trapped inside this glass container, and he managed to use that to actually use that power. Yeah, which is kind of, well, again, menacing and intimidating at the same time. But anyways though, so, and the third and final segment is just basically we have to, beat the likes of enemies and also doing a lot of platforming and stuff. So, that's how it usually goes though when it comes to the Ruined Zone in general. So, let's see if we can actually check something down there. There's a bunch of stickers. And then the last part we have to dodge the spiky Titan pole thing right there. And then that way, then, yeah. That's all you have to know with the Ruined Zone basically. So even then though, Lucas decides to join with Pokemon Trainer for his continuation of his adventure. So anyway, so trophies-wise, we got Frollo, Blooper, Dragoon from Kirby Air Ride, and Maximum Tomato for Stickers Department from Kirby Mouse Attack, and both Warrior cards from Mario Kart Double Dash, Rob 64 from Star Fox Assault, Lugia from Pokemon Generation 2, Panel from the Nintendo Puzzle Collection, Willish Jargo from the 10 Dogs, Captain from... I can't exactly what this is actually from, but even then though, that is another code to memories. Paratrooper from Super Paper Mario, and Garage from Drill Doozer, which they never saw the release in Europe, as far as that game is concerned. So now we got ourselves Pokemon Trainer, and Lucas joins in the team. So yeah, let's go ahead and end things just about right here. So join us next time on Let's Play Super Smash Bros. Brawl Subspace Emissary mode. It's the fact that we're moving on into the Battlefield Fortress. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas. See you guys later.